Go the fuck out there and be there for your friends the same way that you want them to be there for you. Because you know what? It's people out there that ain't got nobody doing shit for them and nobody that gives a fuck about them, you know? But at the same time, it's people out there that's just doing shit for everybody else and no one is paying attention and doing shit for them. And shit like that pisses me the fuck off. Hello, and welcome to Situaseans podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Williams, aka Shawnee Do. You can call me Sean, Shawnee, Shawnee Do. Does not matter to me. I'm just glad that y'all are here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Situaseans podcast. So excited to have you all here. Continue to share these, podcast episodes with your friends, families, co-workers, your enemies, anybody with ears, because you know what? We are all going through shit in this world, and why not share something with others that, pretty much lets others know that you have a safe space to share your situations, your questions, your stories, anything that you're going through, because you fucking matter, all right? Remember that. And so I want you all to continue, submitting your questions, anything that you want to talk about, we unpack on this show. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to the people that, follow the show on all social media. We have been seeing an increase in views. Let's fucking go. So the last episode 7 that featured my best friend Pedro, that one got up to I think is now at 2,000 views on YouTube. So, it looks like you guys are really watching and tuning in and you all really want more and more content. So, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to share your stories and also tell you all about the stuff that I'm going through. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for tuning into that episode. And again, just sharing and submitting your stories. Don't forget, if you want to submit anything that you want unpacked on this show, go to situationspodcast.com/submit. By now, you should already know how to spell situations, but just in case you don't, it's situaseanspodcast.com/submit. And then boom, there's the online anonymous submission form. You submit your stories, content, anything that you want unpacked. All right. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys so very much. Just continue dripping love onto my heart whenever you guys submit. So submit, drip, drip, drip. All right. Now, this episode today, I kind of want to talk a little bit about friendships and, best friends, and then people on the other side of the spectrum that are, I guess, frenemies or backstabbers. And we all go through certain types of situations like this in our lives where it's people that only want to be friends with you or only want to connect with you because they want something from you, or they pretty much, they find ways to use you to elevate themselves and to get what they want out of the friendship or whatever that context or relationship is, that person is to you or whatever. So, and there's just so many different situations like that kind of talks about this. And even in my own life, I've gone through so many different friend groups where it was just there was that one person that just had to pretty much make everybody seem less than to bring themselves up because they were going through stuff. And I know one particular friend that a lot of us know that was just very toxic. He would just put everybody else down in the group, make everybody else feel less than, or if we were going out, or if he was let's say, we have a guys' night out and we're, a bunch of single guys just, out on a town. if he's talking to like a girl or whatever, or, somebody that he's interested in, and we're all kind of just like, just hanging around, let's say it's like a group of girls and like, interacting with a group of us guys, he would like make all of us look bad to kind of like make himself look good. And it's just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, why would you fucking like out somebody or put somebody like, make somebody look bad like that in front of other people? Like, that's so fucking toxic. That's so like stupid. Like, example, like one friend, wasn't like one of the friends in the group wasn't like the best at like, I guess, talking to girls, or wasn't the best at like, I don't know, I guess, just kind of was like, had a few screws loose, I guess, if that makes sense. And just, took a moment to kind of read the room. And so like the main friend, or what like that I'm talking about in this situation, would just pretty much out him in front of everybody. Like, oh, like, well, are you sure you know what the fuck you're talking about? Because, you're kind of clueless. So, we got to make sure that your brain is working okay today. Like, just kind of stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, yo, we're out with a group of people that, we're just trying to have a good time with, and you're trying to put this person down and make yourself look good or whatever. So yeah, just stuff like that. Again, like I just have so many, things that I want to unpack regarding stuff like situations like that, as well as I got another listener submission, and that listener submission is going to cover more about dating on the college campus and how you can, I guess, find love. Like, how does one find love on a college campus? Does one go to dating apps, or, does one go to like social events? I mean, if it's like trying to go to like a bar or something like that, it's going to be a little bit impossible if you're, depending on, if you're under 21, unless you got a fake ID. But I'm not condoning that, but I'm just saying, definitely don't get a fake ID if you want to get into a bar. Do not do that. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Stay, drink safe out there, folks, especially on college campuses. Like, be safe, be with your, with your groups. Make sure that there's a buddy system, that you all get home safely and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's kind of just go like, dive a little bit deeper back into like the whole like, best friends, frenemies and stuff like that. And also I kind of want to give like a little, I guess, quick little brag. So like I got a new phone. This is the what is it? The iPhone 14 or whatever, the Pro Max, like the big one or whatever. I had a old 5-year-old iPhone, an iPhone 10 or whatever, XS Max or whatever, and went tubing with some friends down in Plainfield, Illinois, and forgot that my phone was in my pocket. My tube fell over, like you just like accidentally flipped over when I was trying to adjust, and my phone was just submerged like in the water, and put it in a bag of rice, couldn't salvage it, and had to get another one. And I was without a phone for 10 freaking days. Like, being without a phone for 10 days was, that was just pure fucking agony. Like, people were texting me and wondering why I wasn't responding and stuff like that. I had to like find a way to like log into my Facebook to like, from my computer, in order to tell people, hey, I don't have a phone. Like, that's why. Bunch of crazy mess. Anyway, can I just go on like a really quick tangent about fucking T-Mobile? T-Mobile wanted $400 for me to like upgrade my device because I grandfathered in from Sprint. I had Sprint for like, since like 2010 or whatever. And because T-Mobile bought out Sprint, my warranty that I had with Sprint wasn't going to migrate over to T-Mobile one time. It was going to take another 2 weeks or some shit like that for them to like ship me like the exact same phone. And then they said, well, you can go to the store. And then I went to the store and they were like, well, we don't carry that phone anymore because it's a 5-year-old iPhone. I was like, well, what do I do now? So anyway, they wanted to charge me $450 something for me to like get into like the latest phone or whatever. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just go to AT&T because AT&T charged me next to nothing to get this phone. And I'm paying a cheaper monthly phone bill with the exact same unlimited coverage. So yeah. If any of you out there are frustrated with your phone bill or frustrated with T-Mobile or Verizon, Like go to AT&T. I've had like pretty good coverage. So not sponsored by AT&T. AT&T, if you're listening, sponsor this podcast because you guys literally like are rock stars. Like look at this freaking phone. Like what? But anyway, yeah. So that was like my whole tangent. So, today I'm going to be kind of like going from some of the notes and stuff from my phone today. But yeah, so glad I got a new phone. I'm back online, back in the real world. Yeah, I wasn't able to post some of the stuff on social media because I didn't have a phone to post. So yeah, long story, I'm back. Shawnee Doo is back. So at the end of the day, friends are the family that you choose. And I definitely feel that to my core because I'm not close with my immediate family or my extended family. I grew up in a household, a lot of you know, I grew up in a household where my stepfather was abusive towards me and, like my siblings and a whole bunch of arguing going on between him and my mom. And so, he would like prevent aunts and uncles from coming over and stuff like that. And then like we, tried to like ban us from going to go visit them. It was, it's a very long story. I'll definitely cover, more of that in another episode. But just to kind of make a very long story short, I found a lot of, I guess, closeness with my friend's family. So like my best friend, Pedro, his family took me in and, treated me like one of them. One of the coolest things that I definitely appreciate was the fact that, when I felt like there was nothing or no one really wanted me or I guess, wanted me to be like a part of like their life. I feel like that's where, like a lot of like my different friend groups and like their families, kind of like adopted me in a sort of way. So yeah, I feel like friends are like the family that you choose. Don't get me wrong. I like at the end of the day, I love like my mom and like my siblings, like we're there for each other all the time. And I can't tell you how many times we've done, stuff to cover for each other, to like get, each other out of like a quick fix or whatever. But it's just as far as like those family values and everything, I never got a chance to like vacation with family because I was always just kind of siloed because, I left home at an early age. So by the time I left home, my siblings were like 10 years and younger, so the youngest was like 5 or something like that. So it's like they barely have any memory of me ever really being home. But anyway, so yeah, the friends are the family that you choose because like if you are going through stuff or if you are not close with your family and you hang out with your friend's family or you just hang out with different friend groups and you all are so close and you guys establish that bond, you all are there for each other. Like you find that it's easy for you to lean on your friends' shoulders and stuff like that. Like those kind of values is kind of like what I'm talking about is about friends, can be the family that you choose because none of us choose our families that we're born into. Like you're just born into whatever family you're born into, whether it's a good family, whereas, you're close with your siblings and parents and cousins and, aunts, uncles, and et cetera. Or you grow up in a family like mine, where it's like you're not close, with anybody, but you still love them, of course. Like you'll do anything for them, but you're not close. Whereas like you all are like talking every day or whatever, or going over to like do like dinner and stuff like that and catch up for from the week that was. So I was able to do that with a lot of my friends and their families. And that's kind of like why I was saying, friends are the family that you choose. At the end of the day, true friends and the people that are there with you, the people that fucking fuck with you, they going to be honest with you because if your friends really care about you, they going to tell you about yourself, even in times when you don't want to hear it. Like your friends, your real friends that are there for you, they will help keep you like in check essentially. And by that, I just mean like, yeah, if you're being like a shitty friend or if you're out here just like hurting others or yourself, or you're just, you're just not reaching like your max potential. Yeah, your friends will be like, hey, like I noticed like you're slipping, man. Or hey, I noticed that you haven't been coming around lately. Like, is everything okay? Or hey, you're you went MIA. Like, where have you been? So friends that really care about you, they'll check in with you. They'll tell you about yourself, and they're there for you. And that's kind of what I've experienced with my friend groups. And I feel like the closest friend groups that I have are like some of like my friends from high school. Is like a group of us that come together every once in a while whenever we can. These days, everyone has like kids and, are getting married or engaged and stuff like that and starting like their lives and stuff. And then there's, my theater friend group, and like, I love all of them. We do a lot of shows together. We hang out together. It's definitely like one big family, especially with the theater fam. And yeah, there's even, the friends from like my old neighborhood and people that like I grew up with. There's a few that I still connect with. And my best friend Pedro that was on, the episode from 2 weeks ago. He's, that's my, like my longest established friend of over 21, 22 years. So yeah, it's like your friends are indeed the family that you choose, and it's important to check in and be yourself and be honest and open with your friends and help each other out whenever each other needs to be lifted up, because we all go through stuff and no one's going to be happy 100% of the time. We're all going to have days where we're just down and we just feel like, man, the world is just crumbling against me and I don't know what to fucking do. And I know a lot of times, like, if there's friend groups that are like that, there are times when we'll all get together to go out and kind of help ease that person's mind that's going through something. So yeah, it's important to just be there for your friends, because you never know what is going on in their mind unless they share it with you. But yeah, always be there for your friends. It's so fucking important. As far as like fake friends, I've gone through so many different times and situations, like I mentioned earlier, about friends that only come around when it benefits them, or they only come around because they want something from you. And, I just feel like friends like those, I distance myself from them. I make an effort to make sure that I stay away from energy like that, because again, the friend example that I brought up earlier, where it's like the friend would just, put everybody down or only come around whenever it was convenient for, like that person. Yeah. It took like, a few years for me to be like, you know what, fuck this. I don't need this kind of energy, and like I remove myself from like that person's, like life, and remove that person from my life, because I just couldn't do it. So yeah, if there are, and like, I'm 31 years fucking old. So it's like, I'm not trying to sit here and play high school drama shit if it's like a friend that only comes around because like we're all about to go to this place, or we're all about to go do this fun activity that of course it's like a once in a full moon, opportunity or whatever. Or if it's something that's like, oh, this really cool excursion that only a few people, have access to, or only a few people can do. And it's like, oh, like now everybody comes out of the woodworks and want to go do this fun excursion or whatever. But it's like, oh, if we invite this person to like a party, or if we invite this person to come see us in a show or whatever, or, or if we invite these people to go and do this or go do that, like these certain individuals pick and choose when they want to come out, but then expect everyone else to fall in line and come out and do things for them. And I'm not really giving like a certain example of like, because I'm not trying to like call anybody out or whatever in general, but I'm just saying like there's just like certain, people I've come across in my life that have been like opportunists, and I know that fucking energy and I don't fuck with that energy. And if that person tries to bring that energy my way, I just tell them about themselves right then and there, and then I remove myself. I'm like, yo, like I can't fuck with that. Like if you wanna be an opportunist, go do that with somebody else, or go do that with somebody that's like, I don't know, just at your will, because like that ain't me. I'm not your servant. Like, you know, like we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be there for each other. And you're not meeting your end of the deal. So it's kind of like, yeah, like, you know, either be there or get the fuck out. So it is what it is. And kind of speaking on this, I kind of want to, you know, talk about friends that are there, especially in my own situation where it's like, I have some friends where it's like, if I'm in a show or because like some of you know by now that I do a lot of musical theater and stuff like that. And so whenever I'm doing a show, I'll tell friends like, hey, you know, come see me in the show, or, you know, like I'll make a Instagram story or whatever, or a Facebook post. I'm rarely on fucking Facebook. Like I just post, you know, life events on Facebook, like come see me in this show, or hey, I'm doing this really cool, you know, thing that I only get to do once in a lifetime. Like come show support or whatever. So it's so rare that I ever post on Facebook. Whenever I do, I tell, you know, it's most times regarding like a show or something. So I tell people, hey, come see me in the show. And then friends or, you know, close people around me will say, oh yeah, I'll come see the show. Never fucking show up. But then some of these friends be the same motherfuckers that be like, yo, come see me in my show. Hey, come see me in my show. And then I'll try to be like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that because maybe they'll come see me in my show. And then I do that. And then when it's time to come see my show, oh, I can't, or some, you know, excuse. Now I get it. If they're in the show at the same time, then yeah, that's valid. Of course, it's like, well, if we got the same show schedule, there's just no way we can make each other shows. But if it's like they are telling me that they can't, and then like I find out through the grapevine, oh, they just, you know, didn't want to or whatever, I'm like, you know what? Fuck that person. So now I'm kind of at the point in my life where it's like, if you haven't seen me in a show in like the last, you know, year or something like that, do not fucking ask me to come see you in your show, because I'm going to tell you what? No, I'm not coming to see you in your show, especially if you haven't come to see me in my show. Get the fuck out. Like, I'm not trying to be like mean or whatever. And I feel like this episode, I'm very kind of like giving some petty, salty vibes. But again, the reason why is because like, yeah, I've just been experiencing so many fake ass people around me lately. And that shit is really fucking bothering me. And like me, I don't like drama. And of course, I'll never air out names or anything like that. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm just tired of witnessing people shitting on other people, especially within like the circles that I'm involved in. And even though I'm not directly, you know, I mean, again, if someone has like drama with me or whatever, or they got beef, I'll tell them, hey, come, like, you know, come talk to me. Like say it to my fucking face. Like, be an adult. Tell me what the fuck your issue is with me if you got an issue with me, you know? Because I know if I do, I just tell that person right then and there, like, yo, I don't like the way you did that, or I'm not appreciating how you're treating me or how you're treating this situation. So I got no issues. But yeah, it's just lately I've just been experiencing so many different like pettiness within like the circles that I'm in, and I just want to be like, yo, like, cut it the fuck out. Like, y'all are adults, you know, we're not in high school. Like, grow the fuck up. Be there for your friends the same way that your friends are there for you. You know, if your friends are in a show and they saw you in your show, go see them in their shows. If your friends are coming to see you, or, you know, or they're coming to support you in whatever it is that you're doing. And like, this example is for everybody. Go the fuck out there and be there for your friends the same way that you want them to be there for you. Because you know what? It's people out there that ain't got nobody doing shit for them and nobody that gives a fuck about them, you know? But at the same time, it's people out there that's just doing shit for everybody else, and no one is paying attention and doing shit for them. And shit like that pisses me the fuck off. So again, I'm not trying to be like a negative Nancy in this episode. I really am not. But just lately, a lot of bullshit and a lot of pettiness and a lot of lying and a lot of deception has been going on. And some of that shit has been like affecting me. And I'm just like, okay, like now it's getting personal because it's hurting the people that I'm close to, or it's affecting, me by proxy because like I'm close with this person, or it's affecting me because like, like that person is doing a favor for me, or I'm doing a favor for that person. It's like, so it's like, yeah, be there for each other or get the fuck out. Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Hey, can I let you in a little secret? So I use Buzzsprout to host Situaseans podcast, and let me tell you, it has been the easiest tool I've ever come across for publishing and running a podcast. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. So come on, join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Follow the link in the show notes, and that'll let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. And guess what? That gets you $20 credit if you sign up for a paid plan, and overall, that helps support our show. Let's create something great together. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into the listener submission. And yeah, I can't wait for you all to kind of hear and understand what this submission is about, because I think, you all are going to kind of resonate with this, especially the folks that are in college right now, but the people that are past college age and stuff like that went through those college experiences. I think this one will definitely resonate with you. And I definitely want to hear whatever it is you all are thinking, because at the end of the day, this is an open platform. So I always encourage you guys to, comment like on the videos that I post, comment on YouTube or on YouTube videos. Like, again, this is a YouTube podcast as well. We're an audio podcast and a video podcast. So utilize that, take advantage of it. So I want to hear like your thoughts and stuff on these episodes, like comment on the, on the videos on YouTube and stuff. If you see us on social media, like on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and, TikTok, comment on those videos. I want you guys' input. Like, we are in this together. Like, I want to hear from you and hear your thoughts. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right on into that listener submission. All right. So I'm really excited to dive right on in. So let's go ahead and get to it. Hi, Shawnee Doo. First off, episode 1 of your podcast was amazing. You have a great voice that's perfect for podcasts. I just want to say thank you so much. I really do try. And I'm glad that you enjoyed that first episode. That one was like a really deep episode, and kind of like my introduction into like the whole podcasting realm. So thank you for your patience and tuning into that episode. And thank you for the compliments. Really warms my heart. It's literally just dripping love onto my heart. I really appreciate it. I'm a current freshman in college, and I'm recently back in the dating scene. I've never downloaded a dating app before, but I've been told numerous times that I should. Do these apps, in your opinion, really work for longer term relationships? Do you have any recommendations? Thank you in advance for your answer. Signed, American Teen. All right, American teen. So yeah, thanks for submitting your question and happy to unpack that. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right on in. So, first off, I kind of just want to say, so if you're a freshman in college, I'm assuming you're about 18 or 19. And so, yeah, you are so young. Like you definitely have like the world right right ahead of you. You have so much going on for you at such a young age. And I think that, dating on campus and dating or, like wherever you are, wherever you're attending. And I guess it depends on like, where you're going to school. But if you're going out to school out in like a rural area, I can imagine it might be a little bit difficult trying to like date, like, especially if you're like on the town because it's like you're in the middle, you're like kind of like out in a rural environment. But if you're, but if you're still like at a big institution or university, you can still intertwine and mingle with the people that are on your campus. And so, yeah, there are so many dating app options that I definitely would recommend for someone in your age range from like 18 to like 21-ish. I'll even say 22. But yeah, so you got, Bumble, OK Cupid, you got Plenty of Fish. I feel like those three right there are definitely good apps to kind of ease into because they're very, there's a lot of people on those apps first and foremost. And you do see like age range differences from people like, again, going from like 18 all the way to like, for like 50s, 60s and so on. I think the advantage that a lot of these apps have too is that you can filter the age range of the people that you want to get matches for. So if you're 18 or 19 and you want to kind of stay within that age range, nobody above 21, then yeah, these apps, you can definitely do that. So I think that those are like, pretty much good apps to kind of start with. OK Cupid has been around for a long time. Goodness, I want to say at least over 15 years or so. And like they started off as like a website, before it became like a whole dating app. So OkCupid's been around for a long time. And like, I do see a lot of young individuals on OkCupid. So I think that's another great one. Yeah, I would probably, say maybe you could try Hinge, but my honest opinion, and again, take this with what you will, but with Hinge, it's a lot more older, like, yeah, I guess like, post-college audiences and demographics dating on those apps. So people like young professionals, people are like, like they're young, 20s or whatever, like, like 22 to like, and up are pretty much on those apps and intermingling and intertwining. So you don't want to, you don't want to kind of put yourself in an environment where you may not get too many matches only because like, yeah, if you see a bunch of like young professionals on Hinge and like they come across your profile and like, well, this person is like, in college or just barely started college. Like I'm trying to like start a relationship for the rest of my life, or I'm trying to like get into something serious, or I'm trying to explore and be around somebody that maybe is already out of college. Now, don't get me wrong. There might be people on the app that might be like, yeah, I don't care if they're in college. Like, yeah, like, age is but a number. So, I mean, that it is what it is. So I feel like you just have to kind of navigate it, the way that it's, you feel good about being on that dating app or in that dating environment. And at the same time, you want to feel protected as well. Like you don't want to feel like someone's going to take advantage of you because you're so young. So I definitely would say Hinge is a great app for finding like real genuine connections. But the downside to Hinge is that, yeah, it's mostly a demographic of young professionals that are just getting out of college and older. So definitely take that into consideration when you are signing up for those apps. Also, since you're so young, I would highly recommend getting involved in activities and different groups and clubs on your campus. So if there's like a like a sports club or, obviously like sports teams or whatever, but what if there's like, different clubs that kind of like, surround those different things. So like, like students that are like fans of like sports or stuff like that. Like, there's like different, or even like hobby clubs. You have so many different like groups, like even like gaming groups, sororities, fraternities. Those are like good outlets as well. So if there's like different, and of course, like, if you're part of like a team, if you're, playing on a specific sports, team, then absolutely, like, yeah, you'll definitely connect with people there too, depending on what the sport is. I mean, obviously a lot of sports aren't really, sports aren't really like co-ed or whatever, but you can still meet people, I guess, adjacent wise. So example, if you're playing football, of course, there's like a men's football team and then like, women's football team. But if you're playing football, maybe like the cheerleaders or maybe even some of the people that come to watch the games, you can interact with, the people there. If you're playing basketball or hockey or water polo or rowing, like there's people that exist in those different spaces that you can connect with. But kind of circling back to earlier where I was just saying fraternities or, sororities, those are huge opportunities to get to meet other people. Now, the downside to like that is, of course, is going to be kind of quite stimulating coming at you fast all at once, because when you're joining a sorority or a frat, you go through the whole hazing, initiation, and all that stuff. So it's like a stressful, time getting, I guess, becoming like a brother or a sister once you, get, submerge yourself into that environment. But once you are in those groups and once you are in those spaces, yeah, a lot of sororities and fraternities throw parties, or they have benefit events, or they have different things going on that campus where you could just meet people at different functions. So I definitely would recommend joining any activities, groups, or clubs at your university. That's a great backup and a great way to meet people that are around your age, because now it's easier to bridge that connection, because it's like, okay, it's not some, even then, even though, they're strangers or whatever, but you're going to get to know them a lot quicker because you all have something in common. You both go to that same university or institution, and you both are in that group or you're participating in the interests of that group. So of course you already have a little bit of like a head start versus somebody on a dating app where it's like, you have no idea who this person is. You don't know where they come from, what their, values are, or what they are like in real life. And it's like, okay, now you got to like build that connection until you get to that. Okay, now we're on the first date. Let's see if it works. So it kind of just depends, but I definitely recommend, if you are in, like I just said, if you're just starting out in college or university, definitely submerge yourself in those different groups and clubs, because you'll find so many people that share those common interests that you do. Overall, dating apps definitely work in favor of people that are a little bit older, like kind of post-college-ish, because a lot of people on the dating apps tend to do things that require, at least that sometimes like require like grabbing a drink or being in a space that cards you at the door. So having like an ID, to be 21 or older to get in or whatever. So I definitely think that with the whole dating app situation, especially in college, I feel like you definitely have to be a little bit conscious of the people that you might interact with and make sure that no one's taking advantage of you. I even like this, though, this is a controversial app. I was going to say, even Tinder, like a lot of young people in college are on Tinder. So, I mean, if that's your cup of tea, then yeah, maybe try that out as well. At the end of the day, dating apps aren't going to really determine the match, the person that you're going to end up with for the rest of your life. Like the dating app, I mean, like that's determined between you and the individual that you're getting to know. Dating apps are just the vehicle that bridges the connection. Like you exist in this space, and that person that you potentially match with, or somebody that you might want to spend the rest of your life with, or at least get to know, yeah, they exist in their space. And of course, if you're both on that dating app puts you together, match it, like if you swipe right on each other or you both like each other's photos, boom, it's a match. You go and explore it and see if it's worth, exploring. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's not the apps that determine the connection or the genuity of the connection. That's between you and the person that you're getting to know. So I wouldn't say rely on the dating apps, but it is a good alternative if you aren't finding connections on the campus or the university or the undergraduate space that you're currently in. So definitely explore both. Try getting involved in those clubs and activities. And then, yeah, if you feel like you're not meeting people in those environments, then yeah, definitely give the dating apps a try. You're a grown adult. You make your own life decisions. So be mindful of how you are navigating those different areas and those different environments, and you should be fine. You are young. You got your whole life ahead of you. Don't rush into any relationship or anything too soon, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to look back on that. You're going to be like, wow, I ended up, getting involved with somebody at 19 or 20, and now we're, in a serious relationship, and I never got the chance to have my fun. So, have fun on campus, have fun in college and everything. Wear protection, of course. Consent. And yeah, just have fun and live your life. There's no need to rush into any relationship. You are so young. You got your whole life ahead of you, but just live in the moment, be in the moment, and just enjoy yourself in the company that you are with. So yeah, definitely take things slow. All right, I want to thank the listener for submitting that question about dating in a college or campus and environment. I really appreciate that, because yeah, I think it's a good reminder that, it doesn't matter what age you are that you're starting off in your dating journey. You're going to experience different levels and different types of people as you get older and depending on the environments that you're in. So thank you for submitting that question. Such a great question. And I want to encourage you all to continue to submit your stories, questions. It could be about anything. You like dating life, if you're going through something, somebody pissed you off, or you got a question, like anything, we unpack it all on the show. There are 3 ways that you can submit your story. The first way is to go to our website, situationspodcast.com/submit, or you can email us situationspod, situaseanspod @gmail.com, or you can call the hotline 312-586-2664. Let it ring to the voicemail. No one's going to pick up. It's just a voicemail inbox. So you ain't got to worry about somebody picking up and being awkward. Just let it ring and let it go to voicemail. You leave your voice, your voice message or question, and then we'll unpack it right here live on the show. Definitely follow us on social media and like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Like if you're watching this, I'm waving at you. I'm saying hello. Like I'm giving you like a big old virtual hug, because you know why? I fucking love you all, and I really appreciate you all. And hit that subscribe button on YouTube so that you can get the latest notifications whenever I post content about any of the episodes on the YouTube page. So whenever a new post comes up on YouTube, you'll be the first to know. You'll be cooler than all your friends in the group chat, because they'd be like, wow, so-and-so already saw the latest episode. How did they get that so fast? Well, it's because they went ahead and subscribed to the YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You just click the button. You click the bell icon to get notified whenever a new episode or any new content is posted to the YouTube, and then boom, you're right there. You're the first to get it. Also, join the private Patreon community. That's patreon.com/Situaseans podcast. And there you can see all the, like the behind the scenes, photos and content and everything with that regarding that. You can also, get the ad-free episodes. And guess what, y'all? Remember from a couple episodes ago, I was talking about the person that ghosted me or whatever, and I told you I was going to share the screenshots. Guess what? The screenshots are there in the Patreon group. So join the Patreon. I told y'all, I'm unfiltered on Patreon. Like when you join that private community, you get all the raw details and all the goods and the receipts. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I cannot wait to see you all back here for the next episode. See you all in a couple of weeks.